I believe it's time that I show you my progress on improving the Ashimmu. I said that I'll make this ship faster and tankier, and at the moment I believe I am on a very good track to do just that. The recent changes that I did to this ship seem to be very good, and overall I see that the Ashimmu started to perform a little bit better than before. And of course, I would like to show you some tricks that you can do in PvP against faction frigates and against interceptors. Now let me show you the fit. Now first thing, I have to really change the medium slot module layout. I don't like that the scramblers are so far apart. I like to have my modules grouped. The first two should be the scramblers, then the web, and fourth slot should be the large Nosferatu. In low sec, dual scramblers are very good, and overall I haven't had any problems with dual scramblers. In null sec, one scrambler and dual web, or one point and dual web should be enough. I'm currently using pulse lasers, and honestly I've started to enjoy using pulse lasers again. I did use beam lasers for a very long time on the Ashimmu with dual webs. However, dual webs and pulse lasers work very nice as well. The pulse laser range does work really well with the optimal range of the scramblers. Now, I changed the main attribute of the tungsten nanocore. Yes, I still use the blue nanocore on the Ashimmu because I absolutely love it. It works really well without a problem. I was using the laser damage bonus, but now I swapped to 18.60% flight velocity bonus. And honestly, I should have done this in the first day when I got the nanocore. The extra speed on this little ship helps a lot, especially with the micro warp drive. Now let me show you the base speed of the Ashimmu without the nanocore. 328.02 meter per second. That's actually very slow, although not the slowest faction cruiser. The slowest faction cruiser is the Stratius, and with the core it's 370.99, 371 meter per second. That's a nice little 18.60% boost on the speed. Capacitor 6 minutes, signature radius 90 meters, and of course the DPS did go down a little bit, but I got extra velocity, and that's a good trait, to be honest. Now, like I said before, you can use this ship with pulse lasers using dual webs. I really love dual webs on the Ashimmu. Makes any frigate a easy target. 29.6 kilometer is the range on the Predator webs. 14.62 kilometer range on the pulse lasers. Now, this fit also works really well if you want to use a classic disruptor, but a scrambler can work really well because of the extra strength that it comes with. Beam lasers have 25.52 kilometer range, 9.76 kilometer fall off, and a little bit less tracking. Now, the classic build on the Ashimmu is with dual webs, point and beam lasers. However, dual webs and pulse lasers with a scrambler work really well against faction frigates, and unsuspecting interceptors also get killed really easily with this little ship, and you will see what I mean a little bit later. Now, you might be wondering where are the B types and A types for the Ashimmu. I'm working on that, don't worry. This little Ashimmu will get the B-type and A-type lasers. Now, I have been using the afterburner a lot, and I kinda miss the speed that you get from the micro warp drive. However, the afterburner gives me better capacitor and overall gives me a better speed tank, while the micro warp drive might be better if you use beam lasers to maintain a very good distance and very good overall range from your target. Now let me show you the current speed with the micro warp drive with the Ashimmu. Of course, this is after I changed the build a little bit. And let's turn on the micro drive. Let's take a look at the fitting window. And the DPS, of course, is the same. That's to be expected. Tank 62,000 hit points. That's pretty good actually for a cruiser. 462 meter is the signature radius with the micro warp drive, and 2088.39 meter per second is the velocity. I plan to make that over 3000. I have a good idea how to do that. I have a very good idea how to do that, and I'm actually working towards that. But again, like I said before, I really need a lot more ISK to be able to do that, so I have to wait until I get a fat wallet again, and then I can, you know, and then I can waste like another 3 or 4 billion into this ship. Now let's try out this fit with the afterburner. The afterburner got improved a lot with that little change in the nano core, and again, I still plan to make this ship faster, so this is not the final result for my idea that I want to use on the Ashimmu. Much better capacitor, signature radius 90 meters and almost 1000 meter per second velocity. That's a good increase from the 830 meter per second that I had before. And again, my final goal is to have this at around 1.2, 1.5 kilometer per second. That would be, I think, ideal. And when I get that speed on this ship, then I can totally replace the micro drive with the afterburner. But for now, I'll have to swap between the modules when needed, or should I say, depends on the target. Against battleships, I like to use afterburners. Against smaller ships, I like to use micro drives. However, sometimes I also change that rule, depends on the target. Well then, let's go towards our first target for today. I am landing. We have a rattlesnake. Rattlesnakes became one of my favorite targets with the Ashimmu. Not sure why, but I just enjoy shooting these faction battleships. Okay, Ashimmu, not Ashimmu. The Raven, not the Raven, the rattlesnake has been webbed and pointed. Not quite sure why I called the rattlesnake Raven and Ashimmu, but let's just, you know, ignore that little mistake. The rattlesnake is slowly losing shields. I have the afterburner, so I should be good against any missiles. The rattlesnake has launched the drones on me, and I believe the rattlesnake is also shooting at me with missiles. Yes, they are. Okay. Rattlesnake slowly going down. Their shield almost depleted. My shield so far in very good condition. I also plan to improve the shield boosting ability on this ship. Would be very interesting if I can do something like I did with the Hyperion. That's practically my idea that I want to try out on the Ashimmu. Something that I have on the Hyperion, but just a shield tank, and I think it might just work. Another sink into low armor. My shield slowly going down. However, it's still not going down that easily, but slowly going down. I'm at 54% shield, Rattlesnake at 50% hull. I believe my armor might be scratched by the end of this fight. Yep, my armor got scratched, but the Rattlesnake was destroyed. Very nice, that was a nice first kill for today. Now let me go and take a look at the wreck. Might be another very nice Rattlesnake. And as we can see, my shield is back up in no time. Oh man, the idea that I have for this ship is going to be very interesting, I believe. I will use that battleship as capacitor battery just until I recover my shield. Okay, let's loot. Not bad loot. We got some debris from the rattlesnake. They can be quite expensive. Time to warp out, and let's wait out the criminal timer. Very successful first kill for today. Now, I did say that I will show you a trick that you can use against faction frigates, against interceptors. And our next target is going to be a succubus. Okay. Now I have dual webs, beam lasers, point, and a Nosferatu. And my idea here is to web the succubus, but the succubus warped. Okay. Well, let me warp away and let me warp back. So let me repeat the same thing. So my idea is to land, quickly dual web the succubus, and practically keep it at range while my beam lasers destroy the target. And this is where the Ashimmu can kinda lack, because I have only 1 point, and most ships in low sec have a lot of points, have a lot of stabs. Now I have successfully webbed and pointed the succubus, and now I have to maintain range. The succubus capacitor will slowly go down, but I believe the capacitor of that ship is already depleted. They lost shield, and they are now warping away. Okay, that means I have to change the build for this ship, and I'm not giving up on shooting down that succubus. I will return. Now I have dual scramblers and 1 web. So, for frigates, for faction frigates, for interceptors, I really recommend that you have at least dual webs, because dual webs will definitely be very helpful. Now, I landed close, and I will go and scramble and web the succubus, but this succubus did go and change the build, and I figured that this might be a perfect chance to show you what to do and what not to do in a situation like this. So, most pilots will panic, and they will try to orbit or keep the succubus at range, and as you can see, in this case, that does not work, because the succubus is, of course, faster, and even webbed with 1 web, I'm not going to be able to keep distance. So, in this case, in this situation, you align your ship towards a location, towards a position, and you just burn towards that position. That should throw the succubus a little bit behind you, especially after they lose capacitor, and as you can see, once that happens, the ship goes down. Now, the succubus called a interceptor for help, so I'll just, repeat the same thing. Let me align myself towards space. They have been scrambled and webbed. The capacitor on the interceptor will go down. And yep, the capacitor is down. They lost afterburner or micro updrive, and now they are an easy target, and the interceptor got destroyed. Very nice, and that was actually very exciting. You might be wondering, wasn't that a little bit risky? Yes, it was, but I figured that it might be a good, chance to show you some of the tricks that you can do with these faction cruisers, especially if you're up against faction frigates and interceptors. With dual webs, this would be a lot easier, but in this case, it was a good opportunity to show you the trick with only 1 web. And well, again, this works really well on Blood Raider ships, because, They have the overload penalty bonus on the Nosferatus, which means the Nosferatu can kinda work like a neutralizer because it depletes the capacitor of your target until 0. Next target. Okay, let me quickly approach the Brutix. I wish that I had a classic warp disruptor because I would be able to point them from 30 kilometers, but I guess in this case even the scrambler should be enough. Okay, Brutix has been scrambled, has been webbed. They have an armor plate. Okay. I will orbit at 10 kilometers. I have been webbed, and my timing with the afterburner was perfect. Brutix is using rifled railguns. They have range, but it looks like they don't have enough DPS to break my shield. Now the Ashimmu is excellent against ships that use energy weapons like railguns, lasers, because once your target runs out of capacitor, then there is nothing that they can do. And the Blood Raider ships have excellent capacitors, they have excellent defenses, so once their capacitor is at 0, they are very much helpless, and you can enjoy a very easy and a very satisfying kill. That's one of the reasons why I love to fly Blood Raider ships. All of them do the same thing. And this Brutix has definitely run out of capacitor. That was a nice kill. Let me go and loot the wreck. Oh, nice. Well, now let me warp away and wait out the criminal timer. That was a very nice kill. Actually, let's warp towards that scout anomaly, and then I'll probably warp to another location. Alright, warping towards the next target. Now, you might remember the Vindicator that almost killed me a couple weeks ago. The Vindicator did manage to do a lot of damage, despite me having 85% resistance on shield. So, I think you probably guessed who the next target is. It is that Vindicator. However, this time I am prepared for the DPS, and unfortunately, by the time I land, the Vindicator is already in low hull, but I came just on time to do one hit on the ship, and well, I got my revenge from 2 weeks ago. Let's take a look at the kill, and ooh, nice. That's a very nice Vindicator. 7.3 billion. Not bad at all. Well, that was the Vindicator that almost killed me a couple of weeks ago. I think it was actually 2 weeks ago. I might be wrong, but I warped out at like 10% armor, and I have very good resistances on this ship, but I guess that did not matter. They still did like 6,000 damage on my shield. Next target, we have a Thorax. Okay, they have been webbed, pointed. This is my This is my good old build on the Ashimmu with dual webs. In this case I have an afterburner. Usually I have a micro warp drive, but an afterburner also does get the job done without a problem. In a lot of cases I actually am starting to prefer the afterburner over the micro warp drive. One of the reasons you get extra capacitor with the afterburner. And of course, signature, there is no signature radius penalty with the afterburner. That was one very nice kill. Let's take a look at the wreck. Well, not bad. I got a storyline adaptive shield hardener. They can be sold for a nice price. And now let's warp away. Of course, let's wait out the criminal timer. And then we can go towards the next target.
Warp drive active.
Okay, going into position for the next target. We have a prophecy, I believe. I have to quickly go and warp. 50 kilometers should be okay.
Warp drive active.
There is the prophecy command. Okay, a command ship, command battlecruiser. I have to quickly go within point range. Thankfully I have the micro warp drive. They have been warped and pointed. Let me now orbit. I have pulsators with this build. Looks like the prophecy had warp core stabs. Well, okay, that means it's time to change build and it will be time to wait for the prophecy to come back. And the prophecy returned. I have dual scramblers, afterburner, and of course warping back to the location. Now there is the prophecy. They have already been scrambled. Let me add 2 more scramblers to the prophecy. You never know. They might have like 30 stabs. I have seen a ship that has 38 warp core stability. That is kinda crazy, I'll admit. Prophecy is now into hull. Alright, nice. Prophecy has been destroyed. That was a nice kill. Now let's wait out the timer. Of course, the drone will be pulled back to the drone bay. I always pull back the drone to the drone bay, just in case. Warping towards the next target. We have a Gila. Okay, this should be interesting. They have already been tackled. Let me help by webbing the targets. They have been webbed. Now let's scramble them. Okay, Gila scrambled. They are now into hull. And the Gila has been destroyed. Very nice. Now let's burn away and let's wait out the criminal timer before I go towards the next target.
drive active.
Alright, well, looks like we have another case of insurance scam prevention service. Let's see what ship is attempting to do that, and we have a RB interdictor. They are trying to do insurance scam, and I got notified, so I warped as quickly as I could. They have been scrambled, they have been webbed. No insurance scam on my watch. They're trying to haul. One more hit, and that should be enough. Very nice. Well done. Insurance scam has been prevented. Let me just do this, and now let me warp away. I don't want to be... Let's warp away before I become, you know, insured. Alright, let's just warp away. Let's go towards the next target. We have a battleship. Alright. We have a Raven, to be more accurate. There is the Raven. And this is perfect warping 13 kilometers, just in the optimal range of my scramblers and just in the optimal range of my lasers. The Raven has been webbed. Well, that was... for a second I thought that one of our ships exploded there, but thankfully it was only the storyline ship. Raven in hull very soon. Raven decided to shoot my drone, but thankfully the Raven did go down before my drone. For some reason, a lot of players, a lot of pilots love to shoot at my poor drones. Well, the drone has survived, so it was pretty good. Alright, well that would be it for today. Oh man, we destroyed a lot of expensive ships today. I'm actually impressed by the amount of ships that we blew up today. That was a very good roam, a very good overall PvP day. Well, I hope that you enjoyed. I really hope that my builds can help you in one way or another. All of my builds that you see here are actually being used in PvP and of course in anything else that I decide to use the fit for, and so far as you can see it works really well. And of course this is still not the final build for the Ashimmu. I plan to keep on further improving the ship, and who knows what kind of deadly ship I'll end up with. So with that being said, hope that you enjoyed, stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.